The decade ended with a bang, or a crunch.
Seen it once, don't remember when. Think it's time to watch it again. Follow, subscribe, stay up to date. Episodes drop the last Friday. It's a Matt, forgot that. It's a Matt, forgot that. It's a Matt, forgot that podcast.
And welcome to the Matt Forgot That podcast, the place to recollect and reminisce. I'm your host, Matt Seroski, filmmaker, film fan. Each episode, I'm going to rewatch and review a movie or TV pilot that I've seen before but don't quite remember. It could be a blockbuster, critic's choice, or cult classic. To join in on the conversation, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, at Matt Seroski. You can subscribe to my YouTube page where I'll post videos and clips from the show. If you have any opinions on what I've discussed, or want to share your own trip down memory lane, use the hashtag MattForgotThat on social. Before we start, cereal companies have always used mascots to sell their products to families. They've become cultural icons, often appearing in commercials, promotions, and packaging, and contributing to the brand identity and popularity of these cereals. Tony the Tiger and his signature catchphrase, "They're great," is synonymous with Frosted Flakes. Toucan Sam follows his nose to a bowl of Fruit Loops. Lucky the Leprechaun tells everyone that Lucky Charms are magically delicious. And Snap, Crackle, and Pop literally represent the sound of Rice Krispies when milk is added. But the 1980s was a decade of remarkable transformation in American culture. Entertainment met consumerism, and two unlikely allies converged: studios and cereal companies, with a partnership that was mutually beneficial. Your favorite characters leapt off the screens and into your breakfast bowl. Some of the earliest examples include popular doll Strawberry Shortcake and video game character Donkey Kong Jr. But 1984 brought a bevy of movie-related tie-ins, with C-3PO's crunchy honey-sweetened oat, wheat and corn cereal, E.T. cereal with peanut butter and chocolate-flavored crispy sweetened 2-grain cereal, and Gremlin cereal, which came with a plush Gizmo toy. TV series got in the mix, with Mr. T cereal, of crispy sweet corn and oats. Rainbow Bright and Smurfberry Crunch followed. Then the success of the film Ghostbusters led General Mills to release Ghostbusters cereal, with the box that featured the iconic logo, and inside was a mixture of crunchy circle slashes and marshmallow ghosts. If you loved Cabbage Patch Kids, you could eat their crunchy smiley faces with their cereal. G.I. Joe Action Stars featured a different character on each box, along with their oat grain pieces shaped like stars. Popeye Puffed Rice didn't include any spinach, thankfully, and Pac-Man cereal had sweetened corn pellets with marshmallow ghosts. The decade ended with a bang, or a crunch. Batman cereal featured pieces that were shaped like a bat, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had sweetened ninja nets and our heroes in a half shell in marshmallow form. So what were some of your favorite cereals with entertainment tie-ins to eat growing up? Hit me up on social media using the hashtag MattForgotThat. On to the main attraction. Each review will end with a ranking out of 5 stars. 1 star is skip it, 2 stars watch at your own risk, 3 stars standard fare, 4 stars worth checking out, and 5 stars must see. Now, if I give a title 5 stars, it doesn't mean I'm comparing it to Casablanca, Jaws, or Seinfeld. I rank titles based on other movies or TV series in that genre and at that time period. In this episode of the podcast, I'm rewatching and reviewing The American President from 1995. It was directed by Rob Reiner, who helmed mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap, coming-of-age drama Stand By Me, fantasy adventure The Princess Bride, romantic comedy When Harry Met Sally, and psychological thriller Misery. He started out acting as Meathead on All in the Family, and has since become an influential director and producer of a diverse range of films. He's been nominated for 1 Academy Award for Best Picture of Legal Drama, A Few Good Men. The screenplay was written by Aaron Sorkin, known for his distinctive dialogue and complex narrative in a career that has spanned several decades across various mediums. He started out as a playwright and garnered much attention for A Few Good Men, the original stage play that was later adapted into the film of the same name. Most recently, he adapted Harper Lee's classic novel, To Kill a Mockingbird, for the theater. On television, he created Sports Night, The West Wing, Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, and The Newsroom. On the big screen, he's best known for scribing The Social Network, the drama about the founding of Facebook, which earned him an Academy Award. He made his directorial debut with The Trial of the Chicago 7, about the trial of anti-Vietnam War protesters accused of starting riots at the 1968 Democratic National Convention. It stars Michael Douglas as President Andrew Shepard. He gained early recognition for his role on the television series The Streets of San Francisco for 98 episodes, but it was his work in films like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, for which he won an Academy Award as a producer, and Wall Street, where he delivered an iconic performance as ruthless Gordon Gekko that solidified his status as a Hollywood heavyweight. Douglas's versatility has allowed him to seamlessly transition between genres, from romantic comedies like The War of the Roses to intense dramas like Fatal Attraction. Annette Bening portrays lobbyist Sydney Ellen Wade. She rose to prominence in the 1990s with standout roles in films like The Grifters, for which she received her first Academy Award nomination, comedy Postcards from the Edge, drama Regarding Henry, and biography Bugsy, ending the decade with American Beauty, where her portrayal of Carolyn Burnham earned her critical acclaim and another Oscar nod. Benning's ability to embody complex characters has been evident in notable films including Being Julia, The Kids Are All Right, and 20th Century Woman. Martin Sheen plays Chief of Staff A.J. McInerney. He worked in television for a decade before landing the lead in Badlands, but his breakthrough was as Captain Benjamin Willard in Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now, which solidified his status as a leading man in Hollywood. Sheen's versatility shines through in diverse roles, from his compelling portrayal of President Bartlett in the acclaimed television series The West Wing, to memorable performances in Gandhi, Wall Street, and The Departed. Michael J. Fox acts as assistant to the president for domestic policy, Louis Rothschild. The Canadian-American actor rose to fame with his role as Alex P. Keaton on the hit sitcom Family Ties, showcasing his impeccable comedic timing and charm. His transition to film was marked by iconic roles in the Back to the Future trilogy, where he portrayed the time-traveling Marty McFly. After other big-screen ventures, Teen Wolf, Casualties of War, and The Frighteners, he returned to television with Spin City. The American President also features Anna Devereaux Smith, Samantha Mathis, Shauna Waldron, Wendy Malick, John Mahoney, Anne Haney, and Richard Dreyfuss. So let's jump into it. This is what I remember. The helicopter, when Marine One lands outside the Oval Office and President Shepard says, "That's my ride." And the final speech, where Shepard addresses his political rival and makes the timely remark, "Whatever your particular problem is, my opponent is not the least bit interested in solving it. He's interested in two things and two things only, making you afraid of it and telling you who's to blame for it." Now I'm heading off to watch the movie. This is what I forgot. President Andrew Shepard has spent the past 3 years at the helm of the nation, leading with integrity and commitment to progressive policies. But as his first term nears its end, he faces mounting pressure from political pundits and members of Congress. As they ramp up for a new election cycle, the president proposes an ambitious legislative agenda, with the crime bill being priority one, followed by crucial environmental reforms, whose support by the Global Defense Council is waning, as the president proposes a 10% decrease in fossil fuel production, which is lower than their recommendation. The GDC hires Sydney Ellen Wayne, who enters the fray with her own ambitions. When she makes an impression on the president during a meeting, he asks if she would accompany him to a state dinner at the White House. As their relationship blossoms into a romance, it becomes the focus of intense media scrutiny, sparking debates about the president's personal life, intersecting with his professional duties to the country. Here's a quote without context. $7 trillion communication system at my disposal, and I can't find out if the Packers won. The American President is a charming and insightful film that delves into the crossroads of politics and personal life. Michael Douglas delivers a compelling performance that balances integrity and vulnerability as the leader of the free world. Annette Bening complements him perfectly as Sidney, a character who is a forceful advocate and relatable love interest. Their chemistry is believable and engaging, and you're actively rooting for them. Aaron Sorkin's script is well written, not surprisingly. It features his trademark rapid-fire dialogue and sharp wit that brings authenticity and depth to the characters. The subject matter, politics and character-driven narrative, is his area of expertise, and the script is thoughtful and highly entertaining. Rob Reiner's direction is subtle, allowing the performances to drive the film, not fancy camera work. It captures the chaos of Washington, D.C., with the complexities of a budding romance. Now for a little trivial trivia. President Bill Clinton granted permission for the cast and production design team to visit the White House for accuracy. On one of the visits, director Rob Reiner spent 2 days shadowing the president. The American President was produced by Castle Rock Entertainment and distributed by Universal Pictures and Columbia Pictures. It was filmed at Lake Tahoe, Lake Arrowhead, Los Angeles County Arboretum and Botanic Garden, Culver Studios and Sony Pictures Studios in Culver City, all located in California. The cinematography was captured by John Seal, whose filmography includes crime thriller, Witness, road drama, Rain Man, disaster flick, The Perfect Storm, period war film, Cold Mountain, and post-apocalyptic action, Mad Max Fury Road. He won an Academy Award for Best Achievement in Cinematography of The English Patient. It was edited by Robert Layton, who worked on sports comedy Bull Durham, family flick Life with Mikey, mockumentary A Mighty Wind, and heist film Now You See Me. The score was composed by Mark Shaman, who wrote the music for Western comedy City Slickers, comic strip adaptation The Addams Family, rom-com Sleepless in Seattle, animated film South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, and musicals Sister Act and Hairspray. The runtime is 1 hour 53 minutes. It had a budget of $62 million and grossed $107 million at the box office. It was nominated for 1 Oscar at the 1996 Academy Awards for Best Music, Original Musical or Comedy Score by Mark Shaman. On the Ski Index, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. If you've seen The American President and have opinions on the movie, let me know what you think using the hashtag #MattForgotThat. Moving right along, each episode, I'm going to post throwback clips that I think people should watch. It could be movie trailers, music videos, interviews, or something completely random. Search for my YouTube page and there'll be a playlist called Matt Forgot That Playback. The Greg Kihn Band emerged in the 1970s and gained prominence in the 1980s with their catchy, radio-friendly music blending power pop and rock. The humble beginnings of the group started in Baltimore, Maryland, with singer-songwriter Greg Kihn. While he was playing in coffee houses, his mother submitted a tape of one of his songs to a radio contest, which he won first prize. In 1972, he moved out to San Francisco, where he worked at the Berkeley Record Store with future bandmate Gary Phillips. 4 years later, he was signed to Berkeley Records. He released 5 albums before his breakthrough, Rock'n'Roll, which featured the hit single, the breakup song, They Don't Write 'Em. It reached number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart. He would continue his punny-named albums with Continued and Conspiracy, which included the song Jeopardy. It achieved significant commercial success and became one of his signature songs. The catchy tune, with its memorable chorus and infectious beat, reached the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. It peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot Club Dance Play chart and crossed over to the top 50 of Billboard's Soul chart. A year later, it was parodied by Weird Al Yankovic. I Lost on Jeopardy featured a cameo appearance from Art Fleming, Don Pardo, and Greg Kihn himself. His next album, Citizen Kihn, was released under his own name and reached number 51 on the Billboard Hot 200. He continued to release albums, his most recent in 2017, and was a staple on the touring scene. Last month, he passed away after a long battle with Alzheimer's disease at the age of 75. Outside of his music career, Greg Kihn ventured into radio broadcasting. He became a well-known personality, hosting the morning show on KUFX in the Bay Area, sharing his passion for music with listeners. He authored several books starting in 1996, with his first novel, Horror Show. It was nominated for the prestigious Bram Stoker Award for Best First Novel. He also edited Carved in Rock, a compilation of short fiction stories by musicians including Pete Townsend, Joan Jett, and Ray Davies. Greg Kinn's contributions to music and entertainment have been recognized throughout various accolades, and remained a popular live performer throughout his career. I've selected a couple of clips of his biggest hits. They're all available in the Matt Forgot That playback playlist on YouTube. Check it out. Now it's time for the recommendation. Yes, that's the word recommendation with Matt in the middle. I'm going to end each podcast with my own recommendation of a movie or TV series. Today I'm talking about Just One of the Guys. It tells the story of Terry Griffith, a high school senior and aspiring journalist, whose latest article is overlooked by her school's newspaper editor, believing she's not being taken seriously because she's a female. Determined to prove herself as a writer, she enrolls at a rival high school disguised as a male student. As new identity, TJ, she submits her articles to the journalism department to test out her theory. She also faces the challenges of high school from an entirely new perspective. It stars Joyce Heiser as the gender-bending student, Billy Jacoby as her sex-crazed brother, Buddy, Tony Hudson as her best friend, Denise, Clayton Rohner as James Brown-obsessed outcast Rick, and William Zabka as what else? The prototypical 80s jock and bully. It was directed by Lisa Gottlieb, who helmed episodes of Freddy's Nightmares, Dream On, and Boy Meets World. She was also a casting assistant on the Blues Brothers movie. It was co-written by Dennis Feldman, who would go on to scribe The Golden Child, Species, and Virus, and Jeff Franklin, who penned another 80s cult classic, Summer School, and would create TGIF hits Hangin' with Mr. Cooper and Full House. A couple of interesting notes about the film. The surname Gibbler was used in Just One of the Guys, and would reappear as the quirky neighbor Kimmy. James Brown came to the set and spent 3 days teaching all his dance moves to Clayton Rohner. There is a reference to the movie The Karate Kid, though the joke was in the script before the casting of William Zabka. Improvisation was encouraged in the film, especially in the scene where Buddy teaches his sister Terry how to be a guy. The movie tested well, but with the popularity of John Hughes films, Just One of the Guys got lost in the shuffle, but gained a larger following in rentals on the home video market, and has since become a cult classic. That's all for this edition of Matt Forgot That. Thanks for listening to me reminisce. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Matt Seroski. You can subscribe to my YouTube page where I'll post videos and clips from the show. If you have any opinions on what I've discussed, or want to share your own trip down memory lane, use the hashtag MattForgotThat on social. Head over to mattseroski.com for all the latest news and updates, and come back next time for the rewatch and review. It features his trademark rapid-fire dialogue and sharp wit that brings authenticity. That's a good one. As new identity, TJ, she submits her articles to the journalism. The comedian. It peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot Club 100. Oh man, just more words, Matt, more words.